If so, what other evidence is needed to show that it cannot be the doer or enjoyer? Because doer and enjoyer mean change. When you see this as the persistent, permanent, constant background, as the constant substratum, the I without a me, that is constant, how can there be change in it? Change would imply that means it's not persistent, it's not constant, it's not permanent. Clear? So there cannot be a change, and calling it the doer or enjoyer means calling it, see, a doing starts, it peaks, and then the doing comes to a trough, which is the valley, and it disappears. Again, an experience arises, appears, it peaks, and that experience troughs or it valleys, it disappears. So, doing and experiencing are waves. Saying that the permanent I is the doer is saying that it is not permanent. Yeah, permanent means it cannot change. Do you see this? The moment you say it is the doer or it is the experiencer, that implies change. Yeah. Again, don't try to see through the concept of changelessness that Ekta or Atmananda is explaining to you. Attempt to see the rasa and recognize there is no change here. If you see yourself as that persistent, ceaseless, desireless continuum, you will see it as changeless. The arising that appears and disappears is only an idea. For example, when you watch a movie, there is only an idea that the hero said something bad to the heroine and the heroine is feeling all sad and she's crying and there is a story going on. And you go to the white screen, tear it. Is there a hero and heroine behind? Is there a real story? Is there any change in the background? No, the background is changeless. There is no thing happening here. Therefore, we come to a higher level now. See, in the same chapter, he takes you leaps and bounds. He's saying there are no arisings. Arisings do not exist because arisings would imply that there is a change. Change would imply that this background is a changing background. Changing background means it is not permanent. But that is not true. In my seeing, I have come to the recognition that the rasa is permanent. Do you see it? So the prerequisite is you have seen that the rasa is permanent. Then only can you recognize that arisings do not exist. They don't even appear and disappear. They are not. It's simply entertainment, movie going on. Enjoy. It's fun. Otherwise it would be so boring. If there was no masala, it would be so boring, no? Good fun. Enjoy. This substratum, this background is permanent, non-changing. It's a non-doer. It simply is. It doesn't have to be a non-doer. When we use non-doer, we are saying it in comparison to the idea of a doer. Yeah? It is just meant for communication. You don't need to label it as that. You simply see the rasa as it is. Like the space of this room. Just because there's Advaita knowledge going on, the space of this room doesn't say I'm an Advaitin or I'm the host of the Advaitin session. There is no doership. The space of the room simply is. Yeah. It cannot say I'm enjoying the Advaita knowledge. No, it's not an experiencer. Yet we don't say that the space is a non-doer and non-experiencer. It simply is. Do you see this point? It's a very subtle point. Even calling it a non-doer and non-experiencer is a label given just for the sake of communication. But when you see, you don't see the space as a non-doer and non-experiencer. How funny is that? You simply recognize the space. It is like that only. The primordial awareness, the beingness, the universal I, that permanent, unchanging I simply is. Simply is.